In this video, I'm going to illustrate why unilateral rows are essential for developing the lower portion of your lats. Out of your whole back, the lower lats are generally the hardest part to develop for most people. So if you want to have a pair of fully fledged wings, so to speak, stick around. This video is going to reveal the secrets of how to target your lower lats. But before I start to reveal the secrets, let me first bring out some bad news. Your lats, perhaps more than any other muscle of the body, is heavily dependent on the genetics. If they have less favorable muscle insertions, meaning high lats, for example, Rory Winkler in this photo, then no matter how you try to specifically target your lower lats, they will be never as developed as someone with more favorable muscle insertions. For example, the gift Phil Heath, because he's truly genetically gifted. So unfortunately for some of you guys, having a pair of fully fledged wings may just not be in your cards, no matter how hard you try. As Thanos aptly said in the Infinity War, reality is often disappointing. But here comes the good news. Regardless of your own genetics, you can always make improvements, and there are indeed specific ways to target your lower lats. But before we get to the practical tips and exercise recommendations, let's have a brief class on the lower lats anatomy first. The lower lats are attached to the pelvis. Their origin on the posterior part of the pelvis, specifically the iliac crest, allows them to help stabilize the trunk and contribute to rotational movements of the torso and the pelvis. Because of the attachment to the pelvis, the lower part of your lats has a distinct function from the upper part, namely torso rotation. And the key to target your lower lats is to tap into this function. Find exercises that allow you to rotate the torso during the movement. And this is why unilateral rows or single arm rows come in handy. When you examine the common back exercises, pull-ups, pull-downs, barbell rows, cable rows, as they're all done bilaterally, meaning use both of your hands, your torso will be either fixed on the sagittal plane or on the transverse plane and have no freedom to rotate during the whole range of motion. That's why, although these traditional exercises are great for developing your whole back, they're not great for targeting your lower lats. And out of all the traditional back exercises, the only unilateral exercise is dumbbell rows. In this exercise, you do have the liberty to rotate your torso, but there is another problem that makes this exercise less ideal. As I've mentioned in my previous video, curved motions will work much better on your back muscles than the linear motions due to the running direction of the muscle fibers. And unfortunately, the single-arm dumbbell rows are more of a linear motion movement than a curved motion movement. Therefore, although you can rotate your torso freely during the single-arm dumbbell rows, it is still not the best exercise to target your lower lats. So what are the best exercises to target your lower lats? Well, as you can guess from the thumbnail of this video, two exercises, the hammer strength machine D-bar rows and single arm T-bar rows. And I will start from the machine D-bar rows first. Nowadays, almost all the rowing machines are designed to allow you to row unilaterally. But unfortunately, as the footpads of most rowing machines are located at the same place, they will substantially restrict your freedom to rotate your torso. Just try standing on a split stance and rotate your torso, and compare that to your feet together and rotate your torso. You're going to find that the former will give you a much bigger range of motion to rotate than the latter. And this is where the machine D-bar row really shines, because it allows you to place your feet on a split stance to really rotate your torso. As you can see in this video, while I'm doing D-bar rows, one of my feet is anchored on the front designed footpad, but the other foot is anchored on the back bar of the seat, and I'm actually trying to rotate my torso during the eccentric phase to really stretch the lower portion of my lats. And when you add the curved motion, that cannot be easily mimicked by free weights. In my experience, this is the best machine rowing version to target your lower lats, and no other rowing machines have come even close to this one. So, kudos to Hammer Strength for inventing this brilliant piece of machinery. I know there's so many other gym brands out there, but if there's only one brand I can choose from, it will always be Hammer Strength. And while the machine dual rows deserve all the credit we can give it for, free weights also have a candidate that is even better than its machine counterparts: the single-arm T-bar rows created by the great John Meadows. As one of the most intelligent bodybuilding coaches that has created many unique exercises, the single-arm T-bar row might just be the most ingenious exercise that John Meadows has ever created. Compared to the machine dual rows, this exercise has further enhanced the two key elements that are critical for developing your lower lats. When you take a split stance to do the rowing, you can rotate the torso even more freely, as there is no seating pad to restrict your rotation whatsoever. And during the eccentric part of the movement, as the stretch is solely provided by the gravity, you will feel much more realistic and much more intense compared to the somewhat artificial feeling provided by the machines. And when you combine these two key elements with the curved motion, the single-arm T-bar row is arguably the single best exercise to grow your lower lats. So rest in peace, John. You may no longer be with us anymore, but your legacy will stay with us forever. That's it, guys. Why unilateral rows are essential for developing your lower lats. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you want to see more specific discussions like this one as opposed to my previous topic series. I know they're not receiving many views so far, but if anything, it is much better to have a broad understanding of all the general topics first than to dive directly into the endless specifics. And speaking of which, if you want to know more about which weight training equipment you should choose from, please refer to my very first topic series, Free Weights versus Cables versus Machines. In this series, I provided my detailed analysis of each category's inherent strength and weakness, as well as which category you should choose from depending on your own training experience. In my opinion, this is one of the most important topics that anyone interested in weight training needs to watch. So be sure to check it out. Thank you for your support, and I will see you all in the next video.